Welcome to ridiculous shit going on around the world right now that for some reason you just haven't heard about. Just 2 days ago, a man in a real jetpack was flying 3,000 feet over the Los Angeles International Airport. The man was flying only 300 feet away from the planes as they landed. Who does this guy think he is, the real life Iron Man? Anyways, the FBI are investigating and no one has come forward to take credit for the stunt. But wait, we have other things flying around too, as this witch was seen flying around San Diego. The fact that we have witches flying around and no one is talking about this or freaking out says a lot about our current situation in the world right now. This 50,000-year-old lake that was formed when a meteorite slammed into Earth just turned pink and no one knows why. In less than a month, the Lonar Lake in India went from this green color to this pink color. Since the lake was formed by a meteor crash and the color changed so quickly, scientists are shocked and have no idea what's going on. 2020 seriously needs to calm down. Welcome to ridiculous shit going on around the world right now that for some reason you just haven't heard about. Part 2. Scientists just captured videos of sharks living in active volcanoes. The scientists dropped a camera into the main crater of the Kavachi volcano located in the Solomon Islands and found sharks living in there. And apparently the sharks can use their special sensory abilities to detect when the volcanoes are gonna erupt. But wait, the craziness is just getting started. Japan's first flying car just successfully flew in a test flight with a passenger on board. The car is named SD03 and it is completely electric and will be available to the public in 2023. These things would get rid of the hassle of airports, traffic jams, and car accidents, and the SD03 would eventually fly itself as well. Also, magician and stuntman David Blaine just successfully flew over the Arizona desert holding on to 50 balloons. He ended up floating to almost 25,000 feet in the sky, which is almost as high as airplanes fly, and he was in the sky for over an hour. Welcome to ridiculous shit going on around the world right now that for some reason you just haven't heard about. Part 3. This 16-year-old soccer player in Russia got struck by lightning and miraculously survived. A surveillance camera caught the moment that the soccer player got struck by lightning as he was warming up with his team. Ivan was rushed to the hospital where he was placed in a medically induced coma. And just 3 weeks later he made a full recovery and is back to playing soccer. Also, people are purposely becoming disabled by choice and calling themselves transabled. Body integrity identity disorder is a rare psychological condition that makes healthy individuals feel like they're supposed to be disabled. Some people that suffer from this injure or disable themselves on purpose, like this man right here. This is Alex Mensar and he willingly cut off both of his legs and an arm. Also, doctors just pulled a 4-foot snake out of a woman's throat after it slithered in there as she slept. She woke up feeling very unwell and rushed to the hospital. The doctors then pulled out a 4-foot snake out of her mouth that was still alive. Welcome to ridiculous shit going on around the world right now that for some reason you just haven't heard about. Part 4. We all remember the clowns from 2016 that were spotted everywhere, right? Well, now in 2020 they are back and even creepier than before. There are tons of reports of them chasing people with axes and other weapons. And a lot of them are also offering children money and candy to come into the woods with them. We all know about the Kraken that's basically a ginormous squid, right? Well, something just like it has just been discovered. This huge thing was thought to be a small island or a large rock down near Antarctica. But scientists saw it move on Google Maps and confirmed it's a giant squid that's over 300 feet long. But the craziness does not stop there. Japan has just made a real-life transformer. This real-life transformer can easily switch between a working car and a giant humanoid robot. And to make things even cooler, it can even walk, talk, and grab things with its huge hands. Welcome to ridiculous shit going on around the world right now that for some reason you just haven't heard about. Part 5. On September 14th in New Jersey, this aircraft that looks like an alien UFO was seen hovering over the city. People were stopping in the middle of the highway just to capture videos of it. Some are saying it's just a blimp, but knowing 2020, who knows? Turns out September 14th was even more crazy as 2 asteroids flew right past Earth on that same day. They were about 1/3 of the distance to the moon, which by space standards was pretty close. Also, Batman is delivering hot meals to homeless people in Santiago, Chile every night. The man cooks around 100 food rations a day and he pays for all of it. He then dresses as Batman and delivers the dinners to homeless people throughout the city of Santiago. Also, scientists just uncovered the oldest sperm sample ever found. The sperm was preserved in amber and it dates back to the Cretaceous period, which was about 100 million years ago. Welcome to ridiculous shit going on around the world right now that for some reason you just haven't heard about. Part 6. A frozen dragon was just discovered in Canada. A new species of flying creature that was longer than 30 feet was discovered frozen in Canadian ice. Scientists are calling it the frozen dragon of the north, and it was one of the largest flying animals in our planet's history. A Nazi coin from 2039 was discovered in a construction site in Mexico. On the front of the coin it has a swastika, which I blurred out for obvious reasons, but on the bottom it shows the year 2039, which means that this coin is from the future and was dropped by a time traveler, or this coin could be from a parallel universe. And on the top of the coin it says Nueva Almania, which translates to New Germany. Also, Japan just built a 60-foot robot that weighs over 24 tons. The robot can even walk, kneel, move individual fingers, and even talk. Also, Amazon is selling flying security cameras. If the drone detects movement in any other room in your house, it will fly, go check it out and record. Welcome to ridiculous shit going on around the world right now that for some reason you just haven't heard about. Part 7. Scientists just opened a cave that was sealed away for over 5 million years. The air inside was completely toxic due to harmful gases, but scientists still found 33 new creatures in the cave that have never been found anywhere else on the planet. Scientists also just discovered microorganisms that eat viruses at the bottom of the ocean. They are not like any other microorganisms, and maybe they can help us get rid of the coronavirus. A brain-eating amoeba has just been found in Texas. 8 Texas cities have been told to boil all water before use, because if contaminated water gets in your body in any way, even in your ears or up your nose, you could possibly die. There was also going to be a super rare blue moon on Halloween night this year. Many believe that this could be a sign that something bad is going to happen. And they might be right, because just a month after the blue moon, there is going to be a blood moon. Welcome to ridiculous shit going on around the world right now that for some reason you just haven't heard about. Part 8. Astronauts that are aboard the International Space Station woke up a couple days ago and found out that there was an air leak in the space station. And the scariest part is that the leak was growing in size and they needed to find the source of it before it was too late. Thankfully they were able to find the source and they patched it up, but that's terrifying to even think about. Scientists found 100 million year old microbes at the bottom of the ocean and just brought them back to life. These microbes that were alive before dinosaurs even went extinct were discovered 10 years ago, but now in 2020 they came back to life. I don't think 2020 is the year to be bringing anything back to life. Back in 2014, scientists discovered a signal coming from outer space, and just recently it became active again. These signals found in outer space are called fast radio bursts. This signal was dormant since 2014, but of course in 2020 it became active again. And in case you didn't know, Trump has the coronavirus. Welcome to ridiculous shit going on around the world right now that for some reason you just haven't heard about. Part 9. Scientists just discovered 24 super habitable planets with conditions that are better suited for life than Earth. They are all slightly older than Earth, a little larger, slightly warmer, and possibly wetter. They also orbit better stars that have longer lifespans than our very own sun. Also, a 100 million year old meteorite crater was just discovered while drilling for gold in Australia. The crater is over 3 miles in diameter and it is one of the world's largest meteorite craters ever. And the crater is estimated to be around 100 million years old. Also, the Hubble telescope just spotted a huge star explosion in a distant galaxy. Hubble captured a supernova exploding in a galaxy that is 70 million light years away, which means that this explosion happened 70 million years ago, which I find absolutely insane. Welcome to ridiculous shit going on around the world right now that for some reason you just haven't heard about. Part 10. A startup company named Hermes just raised over $16 million to build a jet that travels at Mach 5. That means you can go from New York to London in under 90 minutes. Or you could go from New York to Los Angeles in under 30 minutes. Also, a coronavirus vaccine that has a 90% protective rate has been tested and it seems to work. It has been tested on over 43,000 people, and if everything keeps moving smoothly like it has been, this could be it. Also, NASA just claimed that the Milky Way galaxy has at least 300 million habitable planets with liquid water on their surfaces. And the closest of these planets are only 20 light years away, so that means life on other planets could be closer than we think. Also, scientists just found the STD chlamydia in the deepest reaches of the Arctic Ocean, and they have no idea how it survives there or how it even got there. Welcome to ridiculous shit going on around the world right now that for some reason you just haven't heard about. Part 11. Israeli scientists recently discovered a way to use oxygen to reverse the process of aging by 25 years. Scientists gave 35 adults over the age of 64 a oxygen treatment every day for 3 months, and discovered old and malfunctioning cells in the body could be reversed. Also, scientists just discovered outer space isn't actually pitch black like we always thought it was. NASA used photos taken of outer space and removed all known sources of visible light from them. And apparently there was still plenty of unexplained light, and scientists don't know what the source of this light is. Also, scientists discovered a planet that has oceans of lava and where it also rains rocks. Also, scientists discovered that there is water on the sunlit side of the moon. If you want longer videos, check out my YouTube, links in my bio. Welcome to ridiculous shit going on around the world right now that for some reason you just haven't heard about. Part 12. First off, President Trump just signed a COVID-19 relief bill, and included in there was something about aliens. Included in the bill was that the Pentagon has 180 days to turn over all information they have on UFOs to the public. So we might get official government confirmation of aliens this year. Also, China recently created their own artificial sun. It can heat up to 150 million degrees in a matter of seconds, and it is 10 times hotter than the core of the sun. Also, scientists recently found 2 new types of fungi that turns flies into zombies. Let's just hope that this doesn't somehow spread to humans. Welcome to ridiculous stuff going on around the world right now that for some reason you just haven't heard about. Part 13. So we all remember the monoliths that were appearing all over the place in 2020, right? Well, now they are starting to appear in 2021 as well. This new monolith was found in southeastern Turkey right next to a 12,000-year-old temple. The 10-foot tall metal monolith had an ancient Turkish script inscribed into it that said, "Look at the sky, you will see the moon." The strangest part of all of this is that right after the monolith was discovered, it was surrounded by armed military guards. The Turkish military was apparently protecting the monolith from any threats, whatever that means. And then 4 days after it was found, the monolith and the military that was protecting it were gone. Welcome to ridiculous stuff going on around the world right now that for some reason you just haven't heard about. Part 14. Scientists just detected mysterious rumblings from inside of Mars. NASA scientists believe the seismic events are caused by a sudden release of energy from the planet's interior, but the origin of this release remains unknown and puzzling. On April 7th, there will be a pink moon that will slightly destabilize the tectonic plates and cause a rise in seismic activity, and it will also cause large tides in oceans. But luckily, all of these effects of the pink moon will be minimal and not cause any devastating effects. Also, there is going to be 2 more supermoons later this year. Scientists also just discovered a dinosaur that lived 80 million years ago in Argentina. And it was so terrifying that they literally named it the one who causes fear. Welcome to ridiculous stuff going on around the world right now that for some reason you just haven't heard about. Part 15. Scientists just observed under a glacier called the Doomsday Glacier and found some very bad news. Just yesterday, scientists discovered that the glacier's supply of warm water is larger than previously believed. That means that it is melting faster than we originally thought. And the reason that you should care is because the Doomsday Glacier is 119,000 square miles, which is this big when you compare it to the UK. And if it collapses completely, it would raise sea levels around the globe by 2 to 3 feet, which in turn would cause severe weather events to reach further inland than ever before. The only way we can stop it from melting so fast is if we address climate change and stop ignoring it like it isn't happening. And just to be safe, we should put up seawalls in certain places. Welcome to ridiculous stuff going on around the world right now that for some reason you just haven't heard about. Part 16. A volcano that scientists are saying is destroying everything in its path just erupted for the second time in 4 days. The volcano we are talking about is located on St. Vincent Island. On Friday of last week, the volcano erupted, which forced 16,000 people to evacuate their homes. But literally today it erupted again, and this time it was way worse than the first eruption. The eruptions have covered the entire island under thick layers of ash and debris and have cut all water and power supplies to everyone. Supplies are so scarce that the government is being forced to drill into the ground for fresh water. People are starting to be evacuated on cruise ships as scientists warn the eruptions could continue for days or even weeks. Welcome to ridiculous stuff going on around the world right now that for some reason you just haven't heard about. Part 17. Japan is planning to release 1.25 million tons of radioactive water from a nuclear plant into the ocean. The radioactive water is currently sitting in about 1,000 tanks, but storage space is now running out. The radioactive water is from the Fukushima nuclear disaster, which was caused by the 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami, which was actually the most severe nuclear accident since the Chernobyl disaster in 1986. Japan said that discharging the contaminated water into the ocean was deemed the cheapest and fastest solution. They plan to start releasing the water into the Pacific Ocean in 2 years. But don't freak out too much. Experts are saying that Japan is gonna dilute the water and it will have very little effect on the environment. But please let me know what you think about this in the comments.